Now, up to this lecture, we have seen how the first pass works, that is generation of symbol table, literal table, pool table, and we have also seen how the intermediate code is generated. Now, by taking IR as an input, how the algorithm for assembler pass 2 is going to work, that we are going to see. So I, Professor Devi Kosti, welcome you for this lecture. So this is what the algorithm. Code area address is equal to address of code area. This particular line gives you that we are going to save target code into the code area file. Pool table underscore pointer is equal to 1 and location counter is set to 0. So this is required, that we need to initialize this to value. Now this particular process of generating target code is repeated till we encountered an end statement. So next is clear machine code buffer. Clear machine code buffer. So whatever is there in the machine code right now, that will be cleared because this assembler's pass 2 is going to generate a new machine code. That's why this clearing is required. Next is what to do if LTORG statement is encountered. So as we have discussed that whenever LTORG statement is encountered, we are going to see that the assembler is going to give memory to the LTORG statement. Now that we have seen in case of IC, now how this will be done in case of pass 2, that we'll see. Now here you can see LTORG equal to 5. So for this target code there is a 000 and 005. So this 005 is nothing but the value of that particular literal, and 001 is the value of that particular literal. Now this all 0 indicates that it is a constant. Okay, let us go to the algorithm. So here process literals in literal table, pool table into the bracket pool table underscore pointer. This nesting is done. Next is literal tab into bracket pool tab underscore pool tab pointer underscore 1 minus 1 is similar to the processing of constants in DC statements. That is assemble the literals in machine code buffer in simple language. Next is what size is equal to size of memory area required for literals. So we always say that literal needs only one size because literal is going to be a constant as like DC. So we know DC needs only one memory space. So similarly, literals need only one space. That's why here the LC is initialized with pool table pointer is equal to pool table pointer plus 1. So pool table pointer is increased. So when your next pool is required, next literal is required from the point of pool table, next entry will be taken into consideration. So once we entered 5, now it is incremented and then we will get 1. So all the literals in pool 1 are allocated with this particular this particular target code. So this is about how LTORG statement is processed. Next is what to do if start statement or origin statement is encountered. So let me clear this annotation first. Okay. So whenever we encounter start statement or origin statement, then only one thing is to be done, that the value given by start or origin is assigned to location counter. And the size is obviously 0 because start or origin, these two assembler directives, will not need any memory space. We just discussed in IC that start and end, these two different assembler directives are just directing assembler to do something. They don't need any memory. That's why size of start and origin is going to be 0. So next is what if a declaration statement is encountered? Now we know that whenever a DC statement is encountered, it is like whatever we discussed right now for LTORG, just the um, DC is a constant, DC is declared constant. That's why we are going to generate like this. I'll show you. Plus 0, 0, 0. And if it is a constant 5, then 5. Like this. If it is a DC, if it is a DS, then this particular value is going to be added into the size. And if it is a DS statement, the size of a DS statement, DC statement is only 1. So size of memory area required by DC or DS depends on the situation. So it is as simple as it is. Next is if imperative statement is there. Now, if imperative statement is there, get operand address from the symbol table. Now you know the symbol table is already generated using pass1. And if it is at literal, then get address from the literal table. Assemble the instruction in machine code buffer and increment with the size required for that particular instruction. So let us see the example. See here. For the start, we said that just initialize LC. For this mover, this is imperative statement. So this plus indicates that it is an expanded code from the target for the target code. 04 is opcode. A register means 1 and equal to 5 is a literal whose address is 211 into the literal table. So this is what the target code. This is what the target code generated for this particular instruction. The address is 200 because starting address is 200. LC is initialized with 200. This is how target code is generated for imperative statement. So one more imperative statement. It is assumed that the length of the mover is 1, because of which 200 is added with 1, 201. This plus 5 is nothing but move M. 1 indicates a register. And for this A, what is to be written is nothing but A's address. Now A's address is calculated by the pass1 and that is 217. So this is how IS imperative statements are performing while generating target code. Coming to the end of the algorithm, if size is equal to 0, then what to be done? If size is equal to 0 for assembly to just move the contents of machine code buffer to the address code area address plus location counter. So always LC is initialized with address given by the start and LC is modified with location counter plus size. So coming to the end of the algorithm, what to do if end statement is there? So while learning advanced assembly directives, we discussed that end statement is behaving like LTORG statement also. So end statement is going to perform the tasks performed by LTORG and as well as location counter addition, and that is incrementing the location counter. So here if end statement is encountered, perform steps 2B and 2F. 2B means what? So 2B is nothing but this is what to be done if LTORG is occurred, and 2F is nothing but here only if size equal to 0, then what is to be done? Just increment the LC. So this is how the algorithm of assembler pass2 works. This is the example given here. So you need to spend a lot of time on this example, then only will understand how the target code is generated. I hope you understood. Take one simple assembly code and generate the target code. So this is the output of pass2. This is the output of assembler target assembler pass2. So whatever algorithm we have seen is just generating this target code. So ultimate goal of this chapter 2 assemblers is right from starting with this assembly language program, we have to generate this target code. So this is what the chapter is. So we have seen analysis phase, then we have seen synthesis phase, we have seen pass1 and the pass2. So the ultimate goal is this one, target code. I hope you understood. Thus we have seen algorithm for assembler pass2. That credit goes to Professor Liam Damdere. Thank you. Happy learning. We'll meet in the next lecture.